Good morning. Welcome to Morning Manna. Again, this is try number two. As I'm trying this internet connection. I don't know if you've been watching the Olympics, but they've been a strange Olympics so far. Um, Not necessarily the games, but just the scenario in which we're living. We're living in days that are racked with COVID. We're coming to the end of COVID, a global pandemic which started in China. Pandemic, which origins are still a little questionable. And China's in the midst of having a lot of human terror. Excuse me. They're they're involved. I'm a little off today, so you'll have to excuse me a little bit. A lot of human rights violations. There's what is being called a diplomatic boycott going on, observed by our countries and a lot of our country and a lot of other world leaders, where we're not sending our diplomats in boycott to the human rights violations going on. Um, there's the government there is restricting has restricted free press for a long time. The athletes are being told not to bring their be posting on their accounts and anything about the government for fear that they might be jeopardizing their own participation in the games. A lot of the world leaders are boycotting. The one that's not most notable that's not is Putin, who's in his country. He's in charge of Russia, or he's the president of Russia, is at the verge of invading Ukraine. These are strange times to be having the Olympic Games. The Olympics were designed to show kind of for a global show of unity and support, an ability to lay down our differences. But it's morphed into something else this year. I don't know what. It's maybe it's a chance to honor the work of our athletes and hopefully show off how many medals a country can gain. Unfortunately, these Olympic Games are more seeming to be more about propaganda and medal count, about the nations using the games to prove a point than the Olympic spirit of solidarity. Well, we'll follow the medal count, but what we long to see something more, the act of goodwill. We've seen it before, when athletes fall down and the others and is slow to come up, and the others slow down to help that athlete up. It's not common that we see. If there's a bad call, the athlete that's benefited from the bad call, refuses to play or does something to correct it. When an injured athlete is helped across the finish line, we cheer for medals. But what we long to see is these acts that demonstrate the Olympic spirit. And we're not alone in this. God longs to catch us, not just as individual achievements, but with the spirit in which we care for one another. Listen to what Paul wrote to the Galatian church in Galatians 6, 1 through 2. He says, "Brethren, if a man is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness, considering yourself, lest you be also be tempted. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ." Or in 1 Thessalonians 5:14, Paul also wrote, "Now we exhort you, brethren, warn those who are unruly, comfort the faint-hearted, uphold the weak, and be patient with all." Comfort the faint-hearted, uphold the weak, be patient with all, restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness. These are, listen to what Jesus' half-brother James wrote in James 5:19 through 20. He says, "Brethren, if any one of you wanders from the truth and someone turns him back, let him know that he who turns a sinner from the error of his way will save a soul from death and cover a multitude of sins." But this all requires a person to stop, to slow down, to notice, to give our strength, our speed to another, to pay attention for the sake of somebody else, for solidarity. It's to help. It's the Olympic spirit that we long to see in others, that the Father longs to see in us, slowing down to help our brothers and sisters out. I know it's hard to break out of this mentality of going for the gold, of giving it all for a medal. We live in a competitive world, a dog eat dog world. Since siblings, there's sibling rivalry. We're trained to achieve, and we use rivalry to push each other farther and farther. But I wonder if that sometimes goes against the grain of what true Christian living is. It's not a medal count. If we need to have in our mind going for a medal, why not make it the Medal of Honor? I know this might be pushing or mixing analogies too much, but the Medal of Honor is something that's awarded to a soldier who has risked his own life to go help fallen comrades. It's someone who has faced a danger to carry others to safety. They lend their strength, their speed, their ability to those who have fallen to help their brothers and sisters to safety. That selflessness embodies the Olympic spirit, and it's what we long to see. But more importantly, it embodies our Lord Jesus, who he himself stopped, slowed down, bent down, and helped us when we had fallen, when we had no hope. So if we're going after medals, may we go after the medal that counts. May we not arrive at the finish line alone. May we help those